What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap for September 9 to 11. Sorry I was not able to post video from 9 to today or Wednesday. Within those days, there weren't much trades I've really taken. However, I did take one today, ended up being a winner. However, it wasn't full sized. It was just one con because I missed my fill, and honestly, just something I didn't want to miss out on. So went extremely light just for fun, and yeah, pretty much it for that trade. But before we get into that, let's talk about the past 2 days. So as you can see, past 2 days we've been consolidating, and we had news for AM for PPI, and today was CPI as well. So we were expecting some not too good price action before then, but as you can see here, very nice bounce on Tuesday off of this 647.35 level off of yesterday's or Monday's lows and Friday's closing rejection point. So after that, we had a nice uptrend, and as I did say on Monday's video, we were looking for an AMD play for Tuesday, I believe. So we did get that play, but however, we were not able to execute this trade. There was no entry for me because if we look at this 153.27 zone, the level did not hold up. As you can see in the AM session, we had a nice strong drive up. However, up on the retest, we weren't able to hold above the level and breaking below before actually heading up in the PM session. Although it did head up, this much is not something I'm really looking forward to. However, if you are a swing trader, this trade would have played nice for you. But as you can see here, is just like what we said. We were looking for a nice continuation retest to the upside. If we see a break up and then retest around this zone before going higher, and as you can see, it's exactly what happened. What we're looking for the shorts was the break below here. Sorry, was a break below here, and same thing, break below, retest, and then head lower. But as you can see, AMD ended up rallying, and now we're back to the previous breakout range. So yeah, Wednesday AMD was not much I was really looking for. I was looking for a possible continuation down with the pre-market, but not something I was too interested in, to be honest. So yeah, let's talk about today's trade. For me today, I took Tesla. We're looking for some continuation to the upside. Very nasty day today. Honestly, didn't see it coming myself, but do notice in previous videos I did have this key supply zone marked as will likely to fail. Previously, as we know, we did test that level and instantly rejecting it, but time and time again, if you just keep testing a same supply zone, it's eventually going to break. I believe this was the first area I wanted Tesla to break off of this 357.30.53 supply zone. So we had a strong rejection there, and we came back again now around over here, and it failed again. But today it looks like we went through it. However, I was not able to hold my trade long enough because I did not see this coming. With QQQs and SPY being having a big divergence, I was cautious as SPY was stronger than QQQ overall today, so I was cautious with the tech. With that said, let's look into the trade today. So we're looking for 350.77 retest for continuation up. Not only is this pre-market high, but if we scale to the bigger time frame, we also have the Tuesday highs. As you can see here, really key level here for Tesla to hold. Sorry, key level 350.77. Tuesday's highs for continuation to the upside. As you can see, at first we had a dump, we came up, dumped again, but as you can see, it reclaimed with strength. So I was very interested in taking this Tesla trade. As you can see, we retested above. First time, we came back second time with low declining volume, and I tried entering here but did not get filled. So I ended up entering pretty high over here near high of day with just one con, which explains my 77 P&L today. Technically, even with this one con, if I just held, I probably would have made over like probably 1,000 just with one con. So that would have been a lot, but it is what it is. I think about a 600% trade today if you were to catch a whole move. But something like this doesn't come often, so in the future, as long as you keep nurturing your runners and let your runners run, you will catch these moves. But in the meantime, if not, then no. But original key idea was just to take majority of the profits if I were into this trade at this 352.75 zone. As you can see, we had this strong rejection or first demand and then breaking through. So I expected this zone to become demand or supply as well. So I was cautious about this zone, which is why I'd trim most of my profits if I were in with more than one contract in this case. However, I wasn't. But as you can see, not only this nice 5-minute or in the 1-minute setup, if we look at the 5-minute, in this case, we can also see a nice order block in these. Pretty much really nice continuation candles to the upside order blocks, as you can see. Just fairly clean day today, you know. It's not something we'll see so often, but when you do, it's just something you have to execute, I guess. And honestly, when I saw it approaching the supply level again and seeing a retest, I honestly could have looked for a trade, but I did not have any level around this zone. As you can see, if we scale out on the big time frame, it's just right in between the highs of previous days, and so forth. So only trade you could take on this was pretty much expecting it to hold of this key 354 area zone here, pretty much, right? So your stop will be like something like this, you know. It's not much we could really do, but as you can see, really big upside if you were able to enter in. Pretty much no red candles, really nice day. So overall, just A+ day today. Something like this comes every couple, let's say 2 to 3 times a month. So there's no need of FOMO for something like this. Personally, I didn't FOMO. I just saw such a good setup, I had to execute it with missing my fill. I did learn my mistake and I did ask this time. However, it seems like it still didn't get filled because it looked like it just accelerated and went up way too quick. With that said, I think in the next time I should probably be buying market order, so there is no possible way of me not getting filled at all. But yeah, that is pretty much it for Tesla today. Market, now being at all-time highs, we do have to be cautious. We do have FOMC in the next coming weeks, so I do believe market will be waiting for that. In the meantime, today seems like market did react positively to CPI news. So you see first pump and then dump, but then market open and we had a really strong rally. Not much I could have caught today on SPY. Could have really gotten chopped out if you were playing this. So you did have to be careful. And recently I haven't been too interested in trading SPY, but mainly looking on individual tickers like Tesla, Nvidia, and Apple. Today we were also looking for some Apple strength. However, Tesla was just a better pick, so I did not end up playing it. But as you can see here, we had a nice strong reaction off of the pre-market zone. Really strong hold, as you can see. Continuation to the upside. Also this as well for early morning scalp trade, if you want it to be done by early morning. Let's see. That was pretty much it in terms of what I saw today. Not really much other things I've seen, but yeah, as you can see, QQQs still barely just reaching that all-time high compared to SPY where it clearly broke past it. So we do have to be cautious now that QQQ did technically reach its highs. I'm not sure if the market still wants to continue up and rally higher. So I'd be cautious if I were you guys. Market is still very neutral right now, but now seems like SPY and Qs are balanced. We do have to have our guard up. Oh yeah, also hood today, really nice continuation to the upside trade today. On today and previous day. So as you can see, morning we had a nice upside, but eventually failing. However, we can see it was a nice reclaim. Nice reclaim of this filled zone over here, as you can see. Nice test over here, but I wouldn't say A+, just a reclaim trade. But the day before, I was kind of interested in this hood, but I believe I would have got stopped out. As you can see here, we're looking for a retest 5-minute range, a 5-minute candle open. As you can see, it had a nice retest. As you see, flushed right through, came back, flushed again before going. You know, just a small scalp off of this 121.68 level, not much, but some profits to be made regardless. You can see we clearly dumped right after that, and today we recovered a little before actually dumping. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up for today. Watches for tomorrow, we can probably see. Honestly, tomorrow I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting some range action. Maybe NVIDIA we get a nice breakout out of this range. As you can see, we've been rejecting here for a bit. So it's something we want to look out for. If you scale to bigger time frames, we have untouched liquidity up here where before we dumped. So those are targets we want to look at if we want to see to the upside. I do believe if AMD wants to go up, I wouldn't look at calls in the moment, because you can see we're below this zone. I'd only start looking safer for calls if we're above here. But as you know, for shorts to short up there, we do need to go up, right? So potentially we can see some calls, but depending on SPYs and Qs, if the market is moving well, then it's possible I'll take a trade to the upside like that. But if not, personally bearish on AMD, but who knows, right? Everything changes in pre-market with the direction, so anything changes and we'll know by morning. NVIDIA, however, as you can see, it's holding up strong compared to AMD. So we could see some nice upside. As I mentioned, we're looking for this zone to break above and retest. Looking at this pattern here, also on the 15-minute, it looked like it was a fake out for shorts. As you can see, faking out the shorts, strong dump, shorter slowed it, and then ended up squeezing back to the upside. So I think NVIDIA to test all-time highs as well is something we'll be looking for tomorrow. Not all-time highs, but to the highs is something we'll be looking out for the next couple of weeks. But with that said, that is pretty much it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video and found something insightful. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.